Recording is getting started. So waiting for that. Yes. Uh, Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon.
Respected head of the department, Dr. YB Thakre sir, my department colleagues, and my dear students. We are here to get insight of resume building. We have with us our proud and beloved alumni, Mr. Aditya Nilegaonkar and Mr. Nikhil Suryavanshi, as our resource persons. It's a proud moment for me to introduce them on this forum. About Aditya, uh, after graduation from our college, he joined KPIT Technologies as a software engineer. After gaining experience from KPIT Technology, he joined Microfuzzy GmbH at Munich as a technical leader and continues his journey there as a project manager till date. Currently, he is pursuing masters at TUM School of Management. Our second speaker today is Nikhil Suryavanshi. He has worked at KPIT Technologies as a senior calibration engineer for Cummins off-road vehicles. He then continued to work at Robert Bosch, India, as a test coordinator for Park Pilot Systems. Currently, he continues his career at Bosch as a project manager. With this brief introduction, I hand over the session to Aditya and Nikhil. Aditya and Nikhil, you can
Yeah,
share.
Yes, sure.
Yes.
Thank you, madam. Thank you
Well,
for the introduction. I'll present my screen. Uh, okay. Please let me know once you see it. Okay. Is it visible?
Not yet.
Okay.
yes, now it is visible.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe I'll start with the quickly with the agenda, what we are going to cover. So the points that we have also prepared and our experiences along the way. From the engineering days. So we'd like to start with the first point on the building right skills and expertise. So this is a lot to do with the goal setting. How do you approach when you start your engineering, your academics, and at the end of the engineering, you also start with a job or masters or wherever the wish is. It's important to start with the goals, right skills and right expertise. So we will speak about these points to start with. Then we'll also cover the extracurricular activities, what it is, what's its impact on your own personal development, and also how recruiters see it. What is the value addition for recruiters? Getting to know your extracurricular activities, what you have done, how you have done. So we'll also talk about the accomplishments and also the participation as a student when you go for interviews. What value does it add in your profile, in your resume? How recruiters see it. We'll also then look at the academic projects that maybe you are doing right now or you will do next year, and also the potential internship options that you may receive, and how do you approach, how recruiters see it, how we see it, and what is the value addition there. And finally, this was specifically for the last year students in mind on some of our recommendations over the years when we see some of the profiles from students and also experienced people and what we feel needs to be changed. So we have gathered some of the points as recommendations on resume writing, what you should include, what you should avoid doing it, and what are the fields which are very important in a resume which you start building now. So you have enough time to work on these all these four aspects which are listed above. Okay. Then we'll start with the first point on the building right skills and expertise. as madam mentioned, it's all the second year and third year students, so you have enough time um, to build these right skills when you face interviews, when you go for tests, when you look at the recruitment as a process. So the, these are the core aspects on the right side, which I've mentioned. On the when you look at a career as a whole, what it embodies is the vision, the interests that you have, the values you possess, and based on that you will derive your goals, what you want to achieve, what you want to do in next 3 years. So these are the most important things. Education wise, you're already doing it. On the technical side, the engineering in electronics, so you're already pretty solid on that. So based on your values, interest, and your vision, what you want to do in next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years of time, you have to look at the bigger picture. So I think that's the best way to start, looking at your goal, your aim, considering what you would do after 10 years.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine, it's perfectly acceptable. You don't know this right now. Even I'm sure when we were in second year, third year, even in last year, we were not aware of it. So that's an honest feedback. But it's always good to have. It's not necessary that you have it at the moment. If you have, it's well and good. If you don't have it, at least we want and we recommend that you start thinking about these topics now onwards.
Yeah.
So what are your goals are, and look at the bigger picture, then try to divide them in phases. Then you come to know this year what you need to achieve, and to achieve those goals, what are the skills you would want to start with and master.
Yeah. So additional points which I want to mention here. So our education system, yes, we are getting enough knowledge on all the subjects, but only that case is not enough for getting a success in your career. So as Aditya rightly pointed out, you should have goals. If you are not having now, that is absolutely fine. But if you are not having in future, then definitely it will cause a problem to you. So this would be the foundation step where you will set your goals. And one important topic is don't set a bigger goal that I want to be a CEO of a bigger company. You have to be iterative goals where you have to retrospect yourself where from where I started. Okay, so this is my first goal which I have achieved, and it would be a stepping stone for your final goal. So those goals should be realistic first of all. Then you have to divide it that okay, in this semester I have to improve the skills, and then I will go ahead with those cases. Then second point where we have mentioned it as a values. So every individual must be having a core values, and each every individual which we see is a unique person. So someone can be good at the communication, someone is good at coding, someone can be very good in grasping part, someone is good in execution, someone is good in leadership. So you should understand first what are your core values and how you will be utilizing your core values for future. Okay. uh,
Exactly.
while while setting goals, it is very important to know what are your interests. So if you are not interested in whatever you are doing, then definitely you will not get enough success and you will not enjoy your job or anything. So that is also important while choosing your goals and where exactly your interests are lying. Then skill set, there are different skill sets which we will be talking ahead, which are regarding the soft skills and the technical skills. So one aspect is rightly happening in our in our company, sorry, in our college, which is about the technical aspects where academics, all the subjects you are learning, where you are having orals and practicals, you are getting enough knowledge where you can go ahead with your mini and mega project. So that is one aspect. And the second important topic which has to be there, which is about the soft skills. Okay, so we will take that point in the next slide. And the
Yeah.
important case is vision. For your career, it is really important to have your vision statement. Okay, so I will be doing these things. What would be needed for me, and all those part we have to look into that. So for a perfect career, whenever you will start, these all are the stepping stone where you have to concentrate from today onwards. Okay. So
Yep.
important topic, as I was saying about your technical skills. So what are actually your technical skills? So in first year, why you will learn all these subjects from all these streams? The reason is whenever you are um, definitely you would be becoming an engineer, but it's not like a set of only few subjects. It's like overall knowledge. So the first year you will learn all the streams, what are the basic foundation things in each and every area. Second year onwards you will start your career into the specific streams where you will have different subjects. Now the case is whenever we will start with like digital logic and DLD or communication theory and communication systems, network analysis, microcontroller processors, then the simulation devices, VLSI. Here, every professor, whatever teaching us, is the what things are available in the current stream. Okay, so whatever the things we have to learn, what would be the stepping stone for each and every project where you would be starting your career. Whereas you guys have to concentrate on one important topic is how you would be utilizing that thing. Okay, so how means let's consider a simple example because you guys are in second year. So there would be a digital circuit where you will learn ADC or you will learn multiplexers. So whether you can use that particular thing for your switches algorithm or something, so that part everyone has to learn. So how, why, all those questions you should ask yourself, why I'm learning this. It should be helpful for someone, because this should not be the case that whatever the subjects you are learning are not useful. Definitely those are really important. Whenever you are reading a single line at this moment for each subject, definitely somewhere it would be helping. Again, a few questions we used to get, what would be the case when if I'm going for the software engineering role and I will not be using the hardware technical core aspects. But the case is the world is so small, at some point of time you would be a project manager for some hardware software company or somewhere which which you really know. At that moment, definitely it is really good if you are having the basic knowledge of all those things. Otherwise you will never get what are the product lines. Okay, so these are the main aspects which we have mentioned, and there are many things like we have the product designs and hardwares, then the controllers, processors. These are the cases majority the industry has demand, and based on your particular area you have to choose in which area you have to concentrate. Then the important topic we want to mention here. Usually, when we were in our engineering, we used to think why organization will keep a criteria, minimum criteria that you should have CGPA of 7 or 70%, 65%. So you will think whenever the big MNC will come, they will have a very stubborn criteria that you should have a good percentage, whereas few companies won't have. So the main idea is like I want to highlight this case. Like my favorite subject is VLSI. Okay, so this is just for example. And if I am not having the electromagnetics a good knowledge, then probably I will get 90% marks in VLSI, whereas 70% in electromagnetics. Now the case is my average would be 80%. Whenever a organization demands 80% or 8 CGPA, it gives the organization an idea that this person was able to cover his weakest link, which is the electromagnetics, at this level where his average is 8. Okay, so definitely if you are having good CGPA, itself gives us idea that your weakest link, weakest point, you have work on a lot. This will useful for each and every organization. The reason is whenever we will be in the dilemma or whenever we are in the project execution, when we have problems, then on which topic this person can be utilized. So if he is able to concentrate on his weakest link itself so nicely, then definitely his best area he can handle. So that's the important topic whenever the organization sets some minimum criteria.
Yeah, exactly. So as it's also mentioned in the academic and technical skills, so maybe it's a good idea you start when you learn these new topics. You are introduced to the core electronics and telecommunication topics from the second year, and with each and every subject in the semester, it gives you an opportunity to relate it with yourself. Are you really interested in making your career with this domain, this subject in digital technologies? Do you want to do it in communication side? Do you want to do it in automotive electronics, power electronics? So I think these are the opportunities, the subjects. You ask yourself, are you really interested in this topic to pursue this as a career? And I think this is based on your goal. You want to be a technical architect, software architect, and you want to work, prepare some nice stuff with the digital technologies, and you already know this goal. You start building the right skills. You start putting these skills, as we mentioned, in the academic and technical skills. So master those skills. These skills will help you into your resume, and also when you go and talk to a recruiter in an interview. So you have a cutting edge there when you have good skills already developed right from second year, third year. So academic skills, I think it's the most important thing you can think of right now, because that's what you guys are doing in engineering and electronics. So that's the bread and butter. So I get maximum grades, maximum marks in all the topics, as Nikhil mentioned, why it is important to have a good average, which shows that the weaker subjects also you do it with very nicely. You score great marks. So this is important. Please take this seriously. This is going to help, because when you have, let's say, 65% or let's say 10 CGPA, I'm not very familiar with CGPA terms, but if you're in a distinction category, that gives you an opportunity to sit for the interviews, to appear for the interviews for bigger companies, which have bigger values, which have bigger network, which have in terms of technical domain expertise, in terms of the work they do, in terms of the revenue they make. It's whole lot more. It's a different world, and you would be able to appear for those interviews. You get an opportunity to work for those type of companies, which you may or may not if it's 60% criteria, for example. So obviously those are also good companies, but it gives you a different exposure. This is what I wanted to say. So please maintain good grades. It's very important. And what we are going to discuss from here are all the additional points. So which says you're super good on your grades, and then we talk about extracurricular activities, accomplishments, academic projects, internships, and everything. So the grades are non-negotiable. So we start now from there. Okay, so on the right skills and expertise, I think technically professors are there. They're better at all these things. They're always there to guide you and help you. At the same time, especially after this COVID times and the times in which we are working, the way we are working, it's all changed. It's a lot different than it was in 2019, to be honest. So for me, also Nikhil, when we discuss for companies now, it's high time. It's very important that we look for people who have good soft skills. The reason is, I'll tell you my own example. I have a team also in Pune. They are working on my project from March. We are working all together, but there are 15 people who are working on this project in Pune itself, but they haven't seen each other yet. So we are in October now. From March it started. So it's been 6 to 7 months. These guys have not seen each other, but they're doing a great job. The reason why they can't do it is with the good skills. And it is important this year, next year. So by the time you pass out, you are selected. Obviously companies are going to look at your soft skill differently now than they used to earlier, because now it's all remote. So everybody wants to check the remote compatibility, how good you are with the communication skills, because communication is a key when you work remotely. Misunderstandings can be very quick. So I want in my project people who are really good with the communication skills, who are really good with collaboration, working with people remotely. So not only remote, but these are the skills which are going to help you in each and every aspect. So let's talk about internal personal skills, public speaking, writing is also with the communication skills. When you speak in meetings, it's important that you speak clearly, you speak to the point, you don't run around the bush. Just to be precise, be on the point, how you speak, with what level of confidence you speak, how you listen when people are speaking to you. How do you listen? Are you an active listener, passive listener? How do you do it? So these skills have gained a lot of weightage, especially in 2020. These were the points which used to separate candidates when I see before 2019. But now 2020 onwards, this is a must. This is a must. It's non-negotiable. You have to have good communication skills. So my recommendation would be, please start it from now. Second year, third year, work on your languages, work on your skills, how you interpret things, how you understand things, how you speak. You know what I mean? Please try to work on these aspects now. It's very important. Yeah. You have any points, Nikhil, on this slide?
Yeah. So regarding communication language, I want to mention one point. So language should not be a barrier. Language is not a knowledge, but important case is at least you should present yourself. So the basic case is okay. It's year 2020, and I expect that all the people are quite good in English speaking. But the case is, if someone has problem, then definitely we have to work on that. So that the case is not to use the bigger words and something, but at least you should speak so much nicely and in lucid language that someone should understand your aspect. Second topic is you should be a good listener. The case is, if I'm giving you some thoughts or if I'm giving some work, then definitely you should be able to grasp that case. Otherwise, you will give a results with so much efforts, but the case is whatever we were expecting, that thing won't get completed. Okay. Then important topic is like a public speaking. So the case is, many people, even Aditya and myself, when we were in the first year of engineering, we were so much shy. We were not able to talk in front of two, three people. Even if we know the answer, we will not raise hand. So there would be few people like us also. But the case is, after second year, we started to realize why we are not able to do this case. And if we wouldn't have started at that point, then definitely would have at the bigger problem when we appeared for organizations. So that is one of the case where you have to reach to that confidence where you can put your point, whether it is correct or incorrect. That is the second part, but at least you should start speaking in public. Okay. And
Yeah.
writing. So writing, again, whenever you are writing your examination, few people will know something and they will write very nicely, whereas few people know everything but they cannot express their views. So while writing your exams as well as writing your emails and everything, you should be very specific, very um, to the point, and in lucid language. So this will help you at least in all the aspects, whether it is your examinations or whether you're going ahead with the interviews.
Yeah, exactly. So the bottom line is, don't be afraid. Start giving yourself a chance. Because I remember when, as Nikhil pointed out it correctly, so in the first year of the engineering, so we were very shy. You wouldn't see me somewhere talking to a bunch of people, like one person introvert sitting somewhere and doing his own stuff. But then things change. You have to work on yourself. You have to give yourself a chance. You interact with people. You learn from people. How do they communicate? How do I communicate with them? Get out of your comfort zone. Go there, speak to people. So this was my chance to do this. In the second semester of first year, we had this university level event at college level. So it was all the branches, all the students, they tried to make this event successful, and I wanted to give myself a chance. I went to a committee called Decoration Committee. So that was, and I was there with some. There was no one from electronics at that time, but what happens is actually they all spoke in English, obviously, and I was very shy because by that time I never spoke in English fluently with people. But initially it was tough because when I say something, it would be obviously it's okay. You can talk in Hindi, Marathi. It's fine. But what happens is how you go from there. So you start working on these things. You feel okay. I have to improve. Obviously, yes. So what you can do for it? Try doing that. So that I think this is what I learned from this example that you give. So if I don't go there, if I have not faced these people, maybe you won't find chance to improve some things in you. So eventually give yourself a chance. So this is where I would like to make a transition to our second point on the extracurricular activities here. So there are important questions. Why extracurricular activities? Why we do give emphasis on extracurricular activities? How does that help me, and how does that help recruiter? Okay, so this is, I think these are the two main questions, and all the other questions are part of these questions. So why these extracurricular activities are important? So I gave you one example, my own example. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. Actually, it's good. You make mistakes, you learn from them. So to make mistakes, you have to give yourself a chance, exposure to different areas where you can expose yourself, and then what you need to improve. Okay, so extracurricular activities for me, a few examples, as you can see, we have tried to list down here are the sports. You play football, you play cricket, badminton. It's all going to help you some other way. How it going to help you, we will discuss. The second point, which I also would like to highlight, which we mentioned here, is the team events or the student association. In the beginning of our session, Belsere Madam mentioned that we both were part of TESA as general secretaries, and I can give 100 examples how it has helped me till today. So how foreign languages, you learn foreign languages, how does it help? This is an example. If some hobbies or some curricular activities which are not listed here but which are important, please do it. Don't hesitate, or don't limit only to these 5 examples which I've written. So these are just explanatory examples. You do theater, you do music, this is going to help you. How we can see. So I'll give my one example, which Nikhil also agrees. We both were in the same zone that time in this. So it was I think a third year when we really wanted to push this TESA organization that we have. It's a beautiful thing to do when you are when you are in the engineering days. And for a 20-year-old, you just imagine it gives you an opportunity to work with people. Okay, like 40 or 50 people team. So at that time it was around 20 people team where we wanted to do a university level event. So it all started first with the college level. We wanted to bring all the departments, students from all the departments into these events, and make some competitions, different competitions with different people involved, and you coordinate this event. So try to imagine a situation where a 20-year-old group of 3-4 people get a chance to work with some budget, let's say 15, I think it was around 15,000-16,000 rupees, and at that age, at that level, you get a chance to manage an event full of people with this budget. Okay, so I think 15,000, 20,000 is a huge amount, and how you can utilize this money and what best you can do with this amount of money, because one person can do beautiful things with 15,000 rupees and the other person can do some incredible things. So this gives you an opportunity to work with different things, be creative, be innovative. I don't think if you don't go there, if we, Nikhil, we wouldn't have been there. I don't think we would have got that chance to work with these type of things when we were 20. So this is I'm not comparing now. Let's say, for example, now we have projects, both of us, which are probably million worth. Okay, it's cost, but you see, before 8 9 years you get an opportunity to work with this group with this money. It's a foundation. I'm not comparing two things, but it's a foundation. You build on these things which are happening with you during the engineering days. Give yourself opportunities. Don't restrict yourself. So if you do theater music, obviously in my interview, I, as also Sovni madam mentioned in the beginning, that I was also singing during the engineering days and participating in the events. Obviously those help, because if you ask, it's my personal experience again. When I went for an interview, the interviewer luckily was also artist. So we had all the technical round, technical topics, all these things in the second round. It was all done, and then there was a point where he saw it in my resume that I used to do theater, I used to do music, and then he was like kind of he asked me, okay, so would you do the same if you come to my company? Obviously, I said yes. Why won't I? So so that gives that opportunity for him to connect with me. There is a link between both of us, without really knowing each other, because he also from the artist background and he wants me also in his group when I join the company. So that gives you extra edge, extra what do we say, competitive advantage. When you are 100 people in an interview, this gives you added advantage, is what I want to say.
Yeah. So actually, important topic almost he has mentioned. The case is sports actually develops a good character, a team player. Because if you see a person who is doing his mini and main project single-handedly, yes, that's really good because he was much competitive enough and he was able to do alone. But the case is the main topic which is lacking is he has not done that part as a team. So there can be the case that he could have managed people who is based in which area, and he could have got that success earlier. Probably he would have got 6 months to complete it, but a team can do it within 3 months. So that team part can be done in this case. The second important topic, which is really a foundation for both of our career, which was TESA, we got a chance where we learned good communication skills, because we have to go to each and every class. We have to address the things to people. They will have queries, we have to clarify. So the case is, again, interaction happened and we got chance. We actually overcome our fears, whatever our bad areas we can say, we actually overcome on that case. The second topic is managing the resources. So as he pointed out the money part, then again, people point of view, we had a good person who was managing the accounts. So he used to do his job so nicely. I remember the case that there was 1 rupee left when we completed our event, and all cases were managed in the same budget. So that's the important topic. So it's not always the case you should be a GS or you should be a secretary, you should be some finance person in that case. But if you are a volunteer in that group, then also you can groom your things, because everyone cannot be leader at the same time. So first of all, you have to learn what are your core strengths and then go ahead with that. The important topic, next topic is the foreign languages. So English, yeah, it is must. Second topic is other languages like German or Japanese, Chinese. These are really mandatory, because now when we are going ahead with the projects with different customers. So I was working for Subaru project, which is Japanese OEM, and the case is those guys will listen your things, Japanese people. Interpreter will just interpret, and the case is they will wait for 2 days, then they will reply it to you. The reason was the language barrier. Now the case is we actually learned their languages, interdisciplinary areas where we can learn basic Japanese. Okay, so we will understand their fact whether they are agreeing with our proposal or not. So if you are having that language competency, then definitely it will help you. And the exposure into the different colleges or something. So we were volunteer for few events where sorry. So we went to the different colleges in our university. So for convincing people how you are projecting your event, that is also one case, right? You are like a salesperson. You want to sell your thing, and you have to tell them, okay, this is our event. You can participate. There are so much things in our events. So this volunteering will also give you a major exposure. Now, these are only five, six things we have mentioned. The case is there are plenty of things which we cannot tell where you can concentrate. You can be somewhere else. You are doing some gathering event. You are doing something which is related to this case. But definitely, whenever we are choosing a people, we don't just want a person who is expert or who is intelligent enough. But definitely, what are the extracurricular activities he has done which would have helped him a lot while building his portfolio. So these are the main aspects which you have to always concentrate. And definitely, recruiter will help this case because organization will not be looking for a group of robot. They will also have the employee satisfaction and the team building things. So for that case, we should have those things where we can highlight our uh, different competencies. So even I am handling here a few things related to fun, where all the people will come together. We will have some celebrations in 1 quarter or 6 months. So in this case also you will get exposure to the higher management. So definitely somewhere you will be getting the benefit, but you have to start things right now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really important, because these are the points which really separate or differentiate candidates, in my opinion. Because not everyone is doing this. And when, as Nikhil rightly mentioned, so companies are not looking for some people, let's say a team of 10 I want to do. I'm not going to go in the market and say all 65%, all toppers, please give me in my team of 10. No, it's not going to happen. I'm being honest. Okay, so we want people who are diverse, okay, who have diverse interests. And when you go for an interview, you have to give the recruiter a chance to look at you with these aspects. If you really do and you are not able to showcase, then it's a problem. So it's important to make sure you are doing some activities which interest you. I wouldn't accept if someone says I'm not interested in any of the extracurricular activities. No, it's a human tendency. You are interested in at least one of them. So the only suggestion is do it. It's going to help. Okay, and one more point I think which relates to this extracurricular activities is, um, which Takre sir mentioned in the very beginning. I think it's very important. I think these extracurricular activities are the ones which connect you with people, and you also with the college, because now if you see, we are, if you ask me honestly, these are the things, cultural events, tessa, the connections with everyone is something which is still there after 8 years, 9 years. We actually graduated, so it's still there. So you please see the importance of doing these things. So even if you see, the madam still remembers all the, we all remember all the activities we did all together. So it's going to cherish forever, and it's going to be always connected with you, and the college you are in. So it's always going to be there, and trust me, after 8-10 years you want connections. Obviously you want connections, you want to be connected with the school, the college, the university you come out of, and it's necessary. um, so please look after these activities, and make sure you are focusing on these also. So as I said, I want to just remind one that we said the grades, the technical stuff, the electronics engineering that you are really doing, it's at the core, and you have to build all these activities around it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't see if there are any questions in the meantime, because I'm on the presentation mode. I
Yeah.
don't see any other. Is
I'm
there a?
checking the questions, Aditya. So we already covered the
Okay.
data point. So guys, please feel free. This
Yeah.
is for you only. So we would like to answer your questions. If we are not able to give, then we will come back to you over the emails. So, but
Yeah, yeah. So,
please shoot the questions.
yes, please write or just mention question in the chat, and then we'll know you have question, and then you can speak. Or if you don't want to do it now, we will have some time also in the end for question
Yeah.
answers. Anything is fine. Okay.
Yes. And last point I want to mention here.
Yes.
Gratitude reciprocates. Always remember this case. In
Yeah.
exactly 10 years back, we arranged the session of one of our alumni in TESA only. And the case is someone just gave some thought. Even we don't remember the person, but the case, whatever he told to us, definitely it was useful. So again, the case is we are here only for our students, and definitely probably in next 10 years you would be at this forum saying same thing. So having a connect with college is really a good part, because it plays a vital role in your complete growth. And for us it was really a good, because our complete transition happened in year 2009-10. So it's really important, because we have done each and everything. So we were part of EDCL also, where we were talking about the entrepreneurs. So it was not the case that we wanted to be entrepreneur or not, but the case is at least we were showing some videos, or collecting people together. So that was one of the topic when we again came together, when we interacted with all the associations. And we were working together, like it wasn't just for the electronic students. So any platform will definitely help you. Only the case is you have to find out the right time, and you have to start the first step.
Exactly. Okay. So before going to the next point, I just remember one actually a tool that I wanted to share with you on this aspect. You can Google it. Please check the SMART goals, SMART. So that it's a really good process, and that also would help, I'm sure, to identify your goals, short term, long term, and what you're looking at. SMART. So you will find so many articles on Google. We don't have to go in details.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so now we come to the another important point on the accomplishments and participation. Before we say that these are all part of your resume. Okay, when we go to fifth point, and when you start writing your resume, these all points are going to be part of as a section in your resume. And um, accomplishments and participation is something recruiters, or even us, we really look at. And what's in it for the individual is the confidence you can. It's unbelievable how confident you would be after participating, after giving this exposure to you. So when we say accomplishments and participations, we mean that you participate in the events, like let's say IEEE presentations or presentations at different universities, these type of events, the coding challenges, the quizzes, technical events, awards received. What are the type of awards you received? You became second, third, bronze medal. These things do matter. And so not necessarily that, let's say you win something, it's not important. We obviously winning is important, but it's not the only thing which is important. Participation is also very important, because that's the first step. You don't win without participating. So even if you make a good case, you do your own nice job, and you say, I participated in IEEE presentations. When I read this in your resume, I would be amazed.
Yeah. Whether that paper is selected or not, that's the second question, but you
Yeah.
appeared. So there was a question, Aditya, from one of the student.
Okay.
The case is the comfort zone. So here I want to
Mhm.
point out that case, that see, what is your comfort zone at this moment? Do your lectures, do your assignments, go for submissions, give oral examinations, get grades. This is your comfort zone, where you are getting enough time. Now the case is you have to utilize the same amount of time with other activities also, where you are pushing yourself out of comfort zone. Now when we saw a person who has a very good academic career, but he has not done anything, he has not participated in any event, so he utilizes his 100% time for only his academics. So this gives us a negative impact when another person who is not that much expert in your technical skills, probably he's 90% if you compared with you. But the case is when we saw, okay, he has done a white paper presentation somewhere. Okay, so he did something which was unusual, or he went for some coding challenges. I saw a recent post from Khatakar ma'am also that some people from I don't remember the department, but got selected for hackathon. So it gives actually a good impact in your resume where this person has participated, he got some award in that. And important case is it's not about losing or winning. If you are not participating, then you are definitely a loser because you never got a chance to go for that. And if you are going ahead for that case, then definitely, okay, you participated, you had a courage to go for that. So push yourself, guys. Go out of your comfort zone wherever you think that is your core area. It will help you to get a better opportunities.
Hello.
Yes, Aditya, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry, I thought I lost the connection. Yeah, so the question was on the comfort zone, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think you covered it correctly. So what all I wanted to say on the comfort zone is, it's I gave you my own example. So obviously I had a barrier with language. First of all, when because I don't remember till 12th I spoke in English with someone because the circumstances or the environment I was in, it was different. So obviously, so one thing which I want to say about comfort zone is still we have still I face this situation, or Nikhil also does, I know. But we are in a comfort zone and how to break it. So I think all related to comfort zone starts with the point that you expect that you will win, or you expect that it's going to be fine, so it's going to be fruitful. What I want to say is, this is not really an expectation, it's the outcome that you are looking at. For me, when you want to do something, don't look at the outcome, look at the process and what you would gain if you achieve it. Because so this is, it's famously said in so many mythologies, philosophies, everywhere, that the outcome is important. There's
Yep.
no second opinion. Outcome is important, no problem, but process is more important than the outcome. Along the way, what you learn is more important. So if that is your goal, I don't think you will have a comfort zone for any of the thing. You will be always ready to break it, because you know at the end you are going to learn and get something out of it. So maybe it's about expectation when it comes to comfort zones, that you expect maybe too much. Obviously you should expect too much, but that's not the only thing, right? So go with the mindset of learning something on that will give you a reality check, and push yourself, as Nikhil said, and take action. So I actually like one of my so this Nikhil also knows this is, there are few people who we know. For example, there is a question asked. If somebody asks a question, they will raise their hand first and then think, how can I answer that,
Yeah.
right? So what is there to learn from this is that, okay, you commit first, that you are going to do it, and then you figure out how you are going to do it. So this commitment, pushing yourself and taking this action, this is very important to break a comfort zone. I hope this answers question.
Yes.
Yes, Nikhil, you were saying something on
Yeah, we can
participation.
move to the next topic, Aditya.
Yeah,
And
but
there is.
one quick question I
Mhm.
have. So how are these hackathons? It's yearly once or twice? How is it, semester wise, yearly?
It's like a transputer event only, Aditya. So each and every
Okay.
college will arrange something. Even the organizations are planning. I heard KPIT was also doing something hackathon event.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great. I think participating in hackathon is more than CV. I think it's an experience.
Yeah.
Participating in hackathon, because you see some people who you don't even imagine exist, and it's a great opportunity. Good. You have anything to add on third point here, Nikhil?
No, we can go
Okay,
ahead with the
we can go with the next
project.
important point. Yes. Okay. Academic projects, I think, for someone who is graduating now or will graduate in 2 years time, I am being honest. If you ask me and my CV right now, I don't mention my final year project in my CV right now. But until you have 2, 3, 4 years of experience, I think this is the foundation which with you start and get a chance to work with some companies. When we see a resume, fresher's resume, or someone who doesn't have experience or who is newly graduated, I think everybody looks at the project you did and the internships you attended. Okay, so from skills, because you know skills, I am convinced. Interviewer is convinced, but how do you apply it?
Yeah.
When the recruiter sits with you for an interview, they don't want to give you maybe 6 months to demonstrate your skills. They don't want that because when you join a company, the clear expectation is maybe 1 month, 2 months training, and then you're on the job. You start delivering on the projects, you start delivering on the artifacts. So it's all, it's like you're part of a team. And academic projects, internships are the opportunities you get to develop and validate your skills. Okay, so as we discussed in point number 1, building right skills and expertise. I think when you start doing this by end of, I think it's the mini project is still third year, second semester, correct?
Yes, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, and main project is in the last year. So I think if, for example, if you want to do something in automotive electronics, that's what your goal is. That's the industry you're looking at. So I think it makes sense to do your mini project and final year project in the field of automotive or the applications of automotive. Obviously, it's electronics, and the domain would be automotive. Look at the applications, and maybe try also looking out for an internship which is also with an automotive startup, automotive company, or a company which is maybe related to automotive domain. So in the area of your interest, try to find some ideas, discuss with professors what you can do, what are the current trends in the market, how you can apply your skills, and you can do some projects in your final year. So start thinking about it now. Obviously you don't start working on them, so this is a process, and you have to keep this in your mind that you have to do an academic project. And and also Nikhil's recommendation would be that you do it in the area of interest. So even, for example, if I am a recruiter, I see that you are applying for my company, it's automotive, and then I see that you have done a project in communication maybe, and you said in an interview to me that Aditya, I'm really interested in automotive, I'm really passionate about it, and but I couldn't do a project in automotive. Obviously I would consider it, but that doesn't give you the benefit. So that's the point. Yeah. And on the internship, I think we were lucky. We didn't have to look for an internship in 2011. So I think it was presented by the college for us to go to Forbes Marshall with. So it was mainly with the boilers and in the Forbes Marshall. It was a great experience, and to be honest, it really helped us in the interviews. The internship that we did, because when I see back in those days, the internships were not as they are, I think, right now, because I think it's way common than it was 8 years back. The internship was kind of not everybody used to do internships. But I think this is a good point, because you actually go in a company, and uh, you are, for those 1 or 2 months, you are treated as one of their own, and that comes with some experiences which you won't get somewhere else. And as a recruiter, that definitely interests, because you were in that environment, you know how it works, so you would be ready. So that's what it suggests for recruiters. And also they want to know your learnings, because that's the most important thing. So I think this is also one of the main points, these 3 points which we have mentioned here: the experience that you're having during the internship or a project, the area of interest, and the roles and responsibilities during your internship. You please mention that what you did, you are
Mm.
responsible during these 2 months, what you are responsible for doing A, B, C, D. And in the end, you also try to summarize, mention what are your takeaways from these 1 or 2 months, because that's the learnings, right? That's the way forward, and it's going to help you with recruiters and for yourself also, because you
Yes.
know where to look at. And I think same with the academic projects also. When you write, when you're done with the project and when you're putting it, the what is most important is what you learned out of it. uh, because I can say this, our project, the last year project, was not 100% success. So the result that we wanted, we didn't achieve 100%. It was, I think, 50-60% we could show the results to the examiner, but the learnings out of it were many. Yeah.
So, from learning from our failures, you have to think on this topic that whenever you are setting your goals, your mini project and final year project should be in same line. Second topic is try to get the achievable goals, because the case is if I am setting my final year project, and I can challenge everyone here at this moment that you set a project where you will achieve the fully automated vehicle. Okay, and if you can do it probably in year 2022, then definitely you can call me. Okay, now the case is this is a real unrealistic goal, because people are working from last 20 years, and they are not at this point. But the case is if you are going ahead with some small area in that case where it will resolve some problems, then definitely that can be a achievable project. So you have to think on that case whether in the next time frame of 6 months or 1 year, because you have to go ahead with all the submissions, your activities, then you have to go ahead with the examinations, and then you have to go ahead with the project. So it has to be achievable case. Then internship, there was a question, but we will address that later on. But internship is really recommended nowadays, because you will get to know the exposure from the industry, how it works. So we actually what we want a lesser turnaround time, where we don't want to groom you guys to write an email, then how to behave, how to talk to your manager, how to escalate, how to provide the feedback, how you will give the status. All those things you can learn in your internship. So you should know the roles and responsibilities, learnings, and those things can be done in internship. That can help. Now the case is, uh, everyone won't be that much lucky that he will get in the same area the internship. So if you are getting, then definitely it will help you. The second aspect is, if you are not getting into the same field, then at least you will think other than the technical aspects there. Okay, so how company works, how you would be part of small project where your efforts would be um, integrated with the another's effort, and you will deliver the product. So those would be the cases which would be highly impacting whenever someone is seeing your resume. So the case is, these are what you can say, every step whenever you will play a game, then you have to pass first step, right? So the first case whatever we pointed out was the CGPA. So if you are exceptionally strong in coding, okay, but if you cannot break that barrier itself, then who would be taking your interview, right? So you have because your training and placement officer itself will eliminate that resume in the first step. Now second topic is, you will go ahead, you will show your whatever the extracurricular activities and soft skills, on which people will ask you question. Now when I do have two candidates exactly same, then I can have these many aspects. Okay, this guy has the good internship in reputed company. He can present nicely. He looks to be good team player. He looks to be a good character. He has very good many projects and final year project. And even to give you more idea, when I changed my first organization, the last point, the interview was okay, but the last question was, what was your final year project? And the case was, I moved to Bosch. My project was in census, and final year project was also in census. So the case is, they really got, okay, he has done something on the eye infrared sensors, and the project was in ultrasonic sensors, so he can grab correctly. So they chose me over someone else. Okay, so definitely it will help you guys in the early stage, because once you are a part of 10-20 years experience, definitely your first industrial experience would be considered. So those are the cases which you have to think. Now the case is, the second year student who is in the first semester cannot finalize his final year project because he has to learn many subjects. So go step by step. Okay, whenever you are learning few subjects like the second year semester, go ahead with that. What can be a problem statement? Decide that, and then go ahead with your mini project. Now to formulate that, or to fine tune your problem statement, professors are there. The first case is whether this is achievable or not. The second case is whether this is a good thing or not. Now many people have already done projects like traffic light automation and all those cases, but then also the current situation in India, we do not have those cases at every place because there are infrastructure barriers or something. So if you are go ahead with some project which will resolve, and it is useful, then definitely go for that. So while choosing mini project and final year project, go ahead, discuss with your project coordinators, professors. It is better to have a project in different field like digital logic, communication theory, embedded systems, and VLSI and automotive electronics. So I can consider 5 projects altogether where I can learn the microsphere microcontrollers. I have to do the coding. I have to go ahead with the hardware. So you have to think on the basic where you have to go, whether it is a complete software project, complete hardware projects, or hardware software projects. Okay, so based on your interest, you have to choose things like this.
Yeah, exactly. So, but what is more important is take it take it with interest, because these things count, for you and for the recruiters also. Okay, good. I think we are ahead of time. So let's, if we have more second year and third year, right? So maybe fifth point we can quickly complete,
Yeah.
because then we don't have to go into the details. But what we have to do is, we just want to give you the ideas,
Yes, we
on
can go
thinking
ahead
about these
quickly.
things, and not surprised at the end of third year on now the placement starts and I have to prepare a resume. So don't be surprised. Start putting if you take care of the, I think, 1 2 3 4, the fifth point is going to be pretty straightforward. You have to sit and write what you have done, but take your time doing the fifth point. Sorry, I'll have to move the slides and then we can summarize later. Okay, so these are few recommendations on resume writing from our side, based on our experience when we recruit freshers and also experienced people. And there are few things which are notable, but people miss out, and that's we have covered in the recommendation. So the most important point, I think it all boils down to, is the template. For me, I'm least interested in template. The only thing is I don't want 4 pages 5 pages resume, because I'm sure, if even if I give you my 5 pages resume, you wouldn't be interested to read 5 pages. So to keep it short, and valuable, relevant. Ideal size I suggest is 2 to 3, but for freshers or for the freshly graduates, I think 1.5 to 2 is 1 to 2 is also fine, because you don't have real projects to mention. So then it becomes bigger, bigger, bigger. So I think that's the reason why I think it's better we put less than 3 pages. It's not the standard saying it should be 1, 2, 3, but the only thing is don't try to I mean um, expand, or then no, it has to be 2 pages. No, it's nothing like that. Whatever are your accomplishments which are relevant ones, put it there. Don't be bound with these examples. The second point is on the authenticity. Okay, so this is it's a red point for me, and I wanted to tell you all also that don't write something which is not true. And the recruiters are smart people. They have been if you ask me, they take, I think, 5 interviews per day, or maybe it's 1,000 interviews they go through every month. The statistics show that there are almost, average recruiter looks at 1,000 resumes, okay, and consider 100 interviews afterwards. So they are smart, they know what they are reading, what they're writing. Someone is bluffing, someone is lying, they will come to know. So don't write something which is not authentic. Okay. Write relevant points. And fourth is, I think it's hygiene. It's basic. No grammar mistakes, no spelling mistakes. It's a must. It's non-negotiable. It's basic. There are a lot of resumes which we see have 2 spaces, 1 word, 2 spaces, and then second word. It's basic, but not acceptable. Spelling mistakes, not acceptable. Make sure there are no spelling mistakes. It's perfect. Okay.
Yeah,
And on the
programming
skills,
languages,
yeah.
if you see, the important topic is you have to mention those, because the any case whenever we are going ahead with 10-year experience, then also people will ask about your C knowledge or something. So the case why
Yeah.
they want it, because it's a basic language you will learn in your engineering, and then you go ahead with your projects. After that, whatever new languages, C++, .NET, V, Java, or anything, it's just a format will change, but the basic programming technique will be the same. So it is really mandatory to mention those cases if you are learning. So if you are going ahead with C, then please do mention, and what is your competence in that, because people will ask you out of 10 how much will you rate. Now you would have seen and experienced whenever your professors or external examiner will take oral, he will ask you first question. It would be um, a simple question initially. If you can answer, then the trickiness or the hardness will increase. Now the case is, if you cannot answer the first question, it will again degrade. So the case is, it would be on the same lines. You have to find out which programming languages and how much you know. Okay, so don't bluff. Whatever you know, you have to tell the cases, and you have to be very optimistic in that case. Then alter your resume based on the organization. This is really important. Otherwise, what will happen? People will prepare one resume and it will be shown to each and every organization. So whether it is a core IT company, core hardware, then the automotive industry or the industrial automation, there are various aspects. Whether it's a VLSI, for example, if you're going for a company which is automotive, then it is better to mention that your elective was automotive and your project was in that case. If you are going for the VLSI industry, then definitely what VLSI you have learned so far. The case is, you do have really good hardwares in your labs, which I have seen, because in year 2010-11, I remember we got Xilinx kits, and the current project on which I am working, it is also having the Xilinx ECU. So the case is, almost 10-12 years after also, same company is providing a better ECUs for the automotive industry, and you do have that idea. Only the case is, you should be aware of that topic while mentioning in your resume. So resume is like your mark sheet. You have done everything, but your result would be shown in that case, and it would be highlighted in front of interviewer. So
Yeah.
please be specific while mentioning this topic.
and
Uh,
and and this also shows the companies that you have studied, the company you are
yeah,
appearing for, and then that gives the recruiters also confidence that okay, you apply for Xilinx. Okay, I think he has studied Xilinx before he's with me in an interview. So that also shows that you're taking some efforts to get selected, which is key in this case.
yeah. And the cases is now initially it was the case that whenever you will send resume, some people will read that resume and either they will select it. Nowadays, everything is robot based. So there
Mm.
would be machine learning and uh, devices which will read your resume based on the keywords. So if you go ahead with Naukri.com also, they will have those keywords. They will select your resume and then they will direct you. So the case is your keywords has to mention properly. For example, if you are mentioning C, if you are mentioning VLSI, if these are two mandatory keywords, then only you will go ahead with some VLSI company. Otherwise, your resume will not get selected at all. So this is basic idea to mention the keywords and highlight them.
Yeah, because if you see in the first slide which we mentioned, let's say for example in the academic skills, the platform sound operating system, please mention the keywords, the names of which operating system you have worked on, or which platforms, .NET, blah blah blah, which are, do you know, mention the keywords, programming languages. I know Unix, I know Java, I know C, CPP, Python, everything, microcontroller, which microprocessors you have worked on, put them
Yeah,
as keywords. This is going to help your resume get selected through robots. Okay,
yeah.
it's not human based, so they don't understand your feelings, they understand the keywords.
Yeah. And post-COVID situation, this is really mandatory because I cannot see Nikhil or Aditya, how that person is, how he has
Mm.
personality. Whereas I can see only two-page resume. Where if that keyword is missing, I will never got to know how that person was. So your resume is the first step where you have to have all those things mentioned properly, and it will give you idea how you are strong. And the second case is the first step you are completing, then secondly it has to be very authentic, because if you can bluff the robot, it will accept your resume, but definitely in the second round you will face the challenges. So it's better to
Yeah,
have all the authentic things with the keywords mentioned in your resume.
yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah, and yes, go ahead, please.
yeah, and if you are writing anything, you should be aware of that case. It's just not okay, I am aware of this case or something.
Mm.
Whatever you are writing in your resume, each and every line matters. Probably if you are writing Xilinx, for example, I will take 1.5 hour interview only on Xilinx. There can be the case I will not touch any other topic, because the case for which I am recruiting is the project completely related to VLSI and Xilinx. So I will not consider other steps. But if you are just writing Xilinx and you do not have idea, then you will face the challenges. So initially we used to say, whenever you will go in front of interviewer, he will see your face and he will get the first question. Now the post COVID situation, it is a bit different. You will send the resume, he will read your resume, and he will ask you question. So definitely you have to be prepared for 2021-22 selection procedure.
Yeah. No, when you put something on the resume, it's going to be there in the records.
Yeah,
Okay, so you are making it public that you know something, and when recruiter asks you a question on that point, you should be able to answer that. It should not happen that okay, what is this controller, please give me the specifics, and then you are doing okay, for 5-10 minutes, then he knows where to look at and not
yeah,
select you. Okay, so when you write something, ensure you know what are the probable questions. Try to anticipate some questions, be prepared for the questions. Also the skills, it's highly important. I think the way the resumes have evolved now, it's also important you mark and rate yourself then and there for a better chance. In case you have very good C expertise, you rate yourself 10 out of 8 out of 10. please mention do so. It's going to be crucial, because you avoid one question in the resume. Please rate yourself, because you already rated yourself. Okay, then let's go to the next point. Directly see how good you are with C. Okay, that's good. So look at the good templates and mention the relevant and authentic information, okay, which is true and justifiable in the end.
We
And
are out of
there's
time. Ma'am, just
yes.
wanted to check whether 10 minutes is fine for everyone or.
Yes, sir. 10 minutes is okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. So, okay, in that case, I think the recommendations we're through. So maybe we'll open some questions. Unless Nikhil, if you have some points,
Yeah.
please feel free.
So we got one question which we can answer easily. Can freelancing can be used instead of internship in resume to get a job? Yes. Freelancing plays vital role. So it is exactly same like internship. uh, and whatever the area you are choosing, that can help you. So it is again the same case. You are doing freelancing where some organization or some projects you are helping at some point of time. So yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, I mean, the freelancing is more on the commercials or the way the contract works. But
Yeah.
in the end, experience is the same. So it really doesn't matter if it's freelancing or real
व्हॉइस
internship.
ब्रेक होतं का?
आता ऐकू येतंय? Hello.
मॅडम ऑडिबल आहे व्यवस्थित.
इज इट
नाही
ऑडिबल
मॅडम,
टू
आवाज
ऑल?
व्यवस्थित आहे. येस, व्यवस्थित आहे आवाज.
Okay, cool. Um,
Next question was from Mandar. The question was, he's willing to do management studies after graduation, but I have heard if I do my management after getting experience from industry will give edge over another. Yes, that's true. Because rather than you're going ahead from BE to MBA, you really don't know how company works, right? There would be many aspects of the organization, how project is happening, what is the technical project management, what is the resource management, and how you are handling, what are the configuration management. So each and every aspects, at least you are getting 1 or 2 years of experience. It will definitely help you. Uh, then regarding the second part of your question, so my question, if I suppose I have to do internship, so should I look internship which help to get job after my graduation, or should I look for internship which will help me for my. So it is better to get the job in the initial part. The case is if you are choosing that second option, so get the job. In that case also you will learn management skills. And important case, whenever you will choose any internship, definitely you will not directly go to the management aspects. You have to do something, right? You will do something, a coding, or you will do for the hardware software integration. So then you can go ahead with the 1 or 2 years of experience in organization and then pursue your higher education.
Yeah, I think it's also down to the grades. Maybe if I don't know if you're giving CAT or GMAT. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but if you see the recent statistics from all the IIMs, for example, you would see that the number of freshers without experience people getting selected, and with experience people get selected. I don't see a huge gap. So it's not not selected, sorry, appearing for the interview and who were really considered also. So I think it's also down to the grade. If you have 720 730 plus, I wouldn't mind doing it directly without any experience. So it's all down to your personal choice. For example, I can give you example in my case. I couldn't figure out by end of the engineering year last year if I really want to study immediately or do have some work experience. But my preference was I wanted to go in the industry, learn something, work for 2-3 years, and then maybe do the MBA. It took me some years for doing it, but yes, right now I am pursuing it. But the only thing is one maybe a point for you to consider is just make sure you are very solid on your decision to do this, because once people start, I see that they change their mind based on maybe once you start earning, then it's very difficult to get out of that comfort zone. When you earn monthly some amount, then it becomes different. So just make sure you are all solid on that, and then decide based on these points.
Yeah. And there was the last question, which I can see. Can we get job without internship, less marks, but with good skills and projects? So for internship, definitely it is not mandatory as such getting job, but it is a best case. So if I want to choose someone, then definitely it will give added advantage. Lace marks, I think at this moment we should not ask this question itself, because second year students definitely can work out. They have 6 semesters to cover that case. If they are having, for example, a CGPA 6 or 6.5, I'm not 100% sure how the average will happen. But yeah, for example, 60% I'm talking. And if you are going ahead with 70, 75 percent for next 6 semesters, then definitely you can cover. For third year students, it is not impossible, but yeah, you have to cover the first barrier itself, because see, if we consider the in Indian engineers, we are having lakhs of engineers each and every year. So there should be some criteria, definitely. Otherwise, no one can evaluate 1 lakh students at the same time. So they will need some criteria. So they will have marks criteria, they will have criteria of your projects, interest areas, and then they will have different examinations, like you have coding, aptitude test. So why all those different barriers they have kept? Because they want to have only 10 students out of you 1,000 people. So it is really mandatory to at least cross that barrier. So less marks, I don't think it will work out. There are few companies, they will not have this barrier, but again, getting a chance, because there would be a lot of people like you who would be participating into that evaluation criteria. Okay. So my suggestion would be, try to get internship. It is better. Less marks, you can do something for that to improve. And yeah, as you already mentioned, good skills and projects. Yeah, definitely it will work out and you will go ahead.
Yes.
Any
So any
other
other
question?
any questions from students? I think no question.
Okay.
Faculty members, are you having any questions?
Ma'am,
Yes, Atre madam.
one question, Nikhil Aditya, which
Mhm.
balancing tips would you like to suggest for the students? Because there should always be a balance between extracurricular, co-curricular, internship, project, everything, and academics. So,
Yeah.
would you like to suggest some balancing tips?
Yes, definitely, because I think that's why we wanted to also keep the flow in the same way, because as I said, the grades, I think it's going to be very important. I think that's the main thing, and along with that, I think then all these things, I think, are collectively also important. Extracurricular activities, good projects, good internships, and good accomplishments. So grades are good, that give you an entry. So I think that holds the maximum weightage. And then if you want to go on the technical side still and make the good technical work, then I think the accomplishments related to those have high weightage. But if you are mostly on the, if there was also one of the questions on the management side, for example, with some technical experience, then in that case I think extracurricular activity would have um, higher weightage for me than the others, obviously along with the grades.
Yeah.
So it all
And
depends on the goal, I think, how you want to balance it, and what you want to do after the engineering. But maximum weightage for all the cases, I think, is the grade.
yeah. And you have to find out the right time, because you should not go ahead with a competition and next day you have exam. Whereas if you are having at the early stage of the semester where you can participate into the competitions, so the case is you have to balance like this way, that what is important at that right time. So if you are having exams, concentrate on that. If it's oral, then concentrate. If you want to start your project, then concentrate on that phase of the project. If you have a lot of time, you have 2 3 months ahead and you would be having some examination, let's start slowly on the project and your curriculum, but you can go ahead with your extracurricular activities which will build have profile building for yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Aditya and Nikhil. Very nicely quoted.
Thank you,
Sense of
madam.
time is very, very
Yes.
important for understanding or keeping the balance between academics and the extracurricular. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Thakre sir, you want to say something? Sir, you are not audible.
Sir, I think it's muted.
Sir, are you there? Yes, sir.
Hello, can you listen me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
audible.
Yeah. Aditya and Nikhil have explained all the points and very nicely. I'm thankful to Aditya and Nikhil. Uh, he has balanced the importance of academics as well as the extracurricular activities, and they have explained both with good coordination between them, that how to build a resume. I would say it as a portfolio during these 4 years. Okay, I just would like to add one point. Already he has covered, but I will explain it very nicely, that when doing all these activities, you need to bear a human values while doing every activities. Okay, there's why Nikhil and Aditya join us, because they are having some universal human values. That's why they have got connected with, again after 8 9 years, to the Department of AINTC PVG. Okay, this without any cost, isn't it? And it is meant for the juniors. This they are playing a very good alumni role, being they are having some values built in them. Okay, this is very important while becoming an engineer, because engineer is not getting completed unless and until he is having some good human values, because after all, engineer has to work with the society. Okay, there's these all points have to be thought of as and when you would like to, that why I would like to become an engineer, why I would like to do something, some part of the education, what is the role play of it. That is also how to be understood when you would like to put forth in some kind of interviews, in some kind of jobs in certain company. Okay, there's a technical part is also there, extracurricular part is also there, and values are also there. Thus, with all these aspects, definitely you will become successful in your career. Okay, there's a, you can start, or of course this has to be started from the means when you have started with the education. But while in engineering, if those students who have not thought about this, they can think of it, and while completing their graduations or while going for campus interviews, they need to focus on all these things so that they won't get any hurdle while getting placed to the campus or out of the campus as well. Okay, to provide your services to the society for the benefit of the human beings. Okay, there's a thank you Aditya once again for getting Aditya as well as Nikhil for getting connected with us. We hope that you will always guide us in this regard, because now you are on that level to guide us. Okay, thank you once again
Sure, sir.
to
Thank
all
you.
the organizers as well, Welchera madam and all the faculty members, because most of the faculty members, even though they are in job, they are getting they are present for this resume building workshop, already resume building webinar, even though they have already built their resume and they are working and on that job. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity, Madam Belchera Madam, Soni Madam,
Yeah.
Thakre sir. It's really good after a long time to interact with you all, and also the students. It's a great feeling. From last 1 week, we were really happy. It's all 4 years we enjoyed again. It's nice. It's nice to interact
Yes.
again with all of
Yes,
you.
Nikhil, I think Nikhil second time is getting connected with the department, because last time we have arranged the alumni
Yeah.
sessions as well.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
have decided to arrange these alumni sessions once in a year, and we'll try to get connected all the alumni of in the department of ANTC for last 20 years or whatever it is. Okay.
Yeah.
There's we'll always
Physically,
give chance. Yeah.
yeah, physically it was challenge, but Corona has taught us many things. So virtually
Yes,
also
yes,
alumni meet can be happened in future, so that many people can join
yes,
easily. Yeah.
yes.
So finally, I want to thank Nikhil and Aditya for such a systematic and well-planned presentation. And I know that our students have learned a lot from this session, and they will definitely look forward for resume building based on the tips that are given by you. I'm thankful to our head of the department, Professor Dr. Y.B. Thakre sir, for his continuous support. Thanks to the faculty members for joining and being active. Thank you, student participants also, and we look forward that your resume building session, you are applying in your career. So thanks a lot. Now I declare that session is over. Students, please fill the feedback form link which is shared with you positively. Okay.